Good morning. Welcome to the Breakfast Show with Smart Robie. And this week, we definitely have another very interesting week, as we can see right now on my Smart Robie apps. And of course, you can also download this copy of a Smart Robie app and check out the US market as well as the KLSE market, SGX and so forth, which has been very popular with some of the astute investors in here. And of course, we all know last Friday, the big sell-off that we've seen in the Dow Jones, falling almost 1,000 points. And if I go on to my Smart Robie, let me just switch on to a wider chart here. You can see just over here, and you can check on to the KLCI going into the S&P 500 and going to the Robie chart. And you can see S&P 500 did have a big sell-off that we see, and this is the widespread bar. Again, you could see much earlier on the S&P 500, we have the red pentagon coming out much earlier than everybody else. So that's a pre-warning of what's really happening in here. And of course, going back to our KLSE, I can just go on to my chart here and just go back to the KLSE market this morning, and the market is down slightly, almost unchanged, I think. Yes, almost unchanged. It was it's up, okay, 26 was up 4 points. And this morning, I think it did hold its ground in here on the FKLI, but we will definitely check with our VSA 360 to see where the market is holding up in here. Pretty strong. That is a tall tale sign. Maybe some of the foreign funds are coming in here and may be interested in our GE15, which could be the underlying curtain, because I usually see that market will sort of backed up and going higher. But you can see from here onwards, after the upthrust, whether the sell-off will be here. But we will probably have to wait for the end of the day to see it. But of course, the market could be overreacting to the statement that was made by the US chairperson Jerome Powell, being more interest rate cuts, more interest rate hike or more increased interest rate going forward, and that will impact a lot of the technology and also increase the cost of spending. Let's take a look at what we have for you this morning in here. Switching to back to my chart here, and of course today's sharing is about more market correction after the SOW, sign of weakness upthrust, which will show it. And market may be mushrooming to a stage 4, retesting the old support at the 1470. We are looking for widespread bar, definitely widespread bar to the downside. Heavier volume that you need to be very cautious about this in here. And of course, now let's take a look at our KLCI in here, and you could see much earlier on our chart here, and you could see the red pentagon appeared. Let me just switch to a wider chart here. The red pentagon appeared much earlier, and that's the so-called what do we call the pre-warning sign that the market's gonna come. So always take note of the red pentagon, which have help save a lot of our members' portfolio to know whether you want to go long or you want to go short in here. But of course, for our beginner, even despite what we have seen last Friday, the big sell-off in here, the Robie FA collection, which is the Robie fundamental collection chart, is a list of highly rated stocks, highly rated in Smart Robie in terms of valuation and also attractiveness. You want to check it out in here by going to the Robie FA collection, and you could see so far we have a few out here. We got Armada, Chinwell, CI Holding rated 6 out of 8, DKSH rated 7, okay, and Oriental rated out of 6. So these are some of the stronger stocks which already turned green pentagon earlier on. All right, you can look at that, but we're going to be looking into, of course, the Smart Robie that you see on our apps here is powered by Pentagon Guider, a follower of Smart Money in here, creator of VSA by Tom Williams, and we are the creator in Malaysia for our Smart Robie in here. Now, of course, our Pentagon Guider portfolio did suffer too in here. You could see positive previously was positive, but right now is down 6% here and down almost 2% in here. We're still holding to this portfolio, right? And right now it's still beating the KLCI so far in here. Now let's take a look at this market that you see, and switching to a wider chart here. And right now you could see we have this red pentagon, we have an upthrust. This morning the market actually hold up and did close back up that gap. It did open lower, reacting to the so-called maybe overreacted statement by Jerome Powell. But I think looking at the S&P 500, the futures chart, I believe this market is gaining a bit of ground. No doubt the market has broke below the 150, and previously I stated the 1530, which was the resistance that we see. It hits it, it come back down, and I do think this is a very good support right now. No doubt we have the red pentagon, which is a pre-warning in here, but market likely to correct. Worst case will be looking more to the downside. Right now it's holding up this morning in here. Maybe the inflation figures, as I said before, those of you who came last Wednesday to my talk, if not, you can check it out on our YouTube, about the likelihood of the inflation being tamed, rather looking at 8.5% for the month of July. This is again to the US market looking a bit more tamer, and also the job numbers, which is also coming out on Friday in here. So no doubt the market likely to move sideways. We have 4 upthrusts, 1, 2, 3, 4. The likelihood where we see a lot of upthrust, that basically just telling you the 15, 20, 15, 30 are very, very strong resistance in here. Okay, the very strong resistance here. And also look at the market stages. What market stages are we in? Likelihood we are saying that we'll be moving to stage 4 in here. And the volumes are of course a bit low this morning in here. This is the live chart. Market was just down half of a point. Volume holding up at 422 million in here. Now all our VSA 360 beginning on 9th of September will have charts like this, which is live updated in here, just slightly delayed by 20 minutes in here. And we were looking for a widespread bar last Friday, but did not turn up. Instead we got the upthrust. What I was hoping it could close with a widespread bar, but it didn't. The support at 1470 need to be sustained in here. Okay, so if you look back from the charts that we have here, you can see the KLCI. Let me just go back to the KLCI chart here, right? And switching here, this is the end of day chart. You could see end of day chart, you have just on top of here is an upthrust, but this morning open down and trying to close up. But very important, as I said before, we need to see this market hold its level and not close with the down bar. But that's usually happen after lunch. All right, so take a look at it later in the afternoon here. But having said that, things are not looking pretty good for the KLCI. The longer term trend right now we are seeing still a little bit of up, because on the backdrop of the January election 15, GE15, very important in here. Now we did see foreign funds leaving. This is the red line here, and that's where was the concern is. But foreign fund did come in and buy. So I would think too right now the foreign funds are buying back in here. So on the VSA 360, something that you want to have, and of course you can also get the 10-day free trial for our VSA 360 plus the 30 minutes training from our trainer here, and able to have a test run of our VSA 360, which does give the live data, live charts right now in here. So the KLCI have some sort of support right now because foreign funds are holding up here. As long as they're holding up, then we will see this market not going to the sell-off, and that's what's actually happening now. Now let's look at some of the Robie FA collection stocks. As I said before, the focus right now in the breakfast show is beginner, so we will turn our attention to the Robie FA collection, but at one point in time we may switch off. So we are looking for company that have strong roots in here and just doing very well. Do take note, the KLCI already turned red pentagon, and thank you for sharing this video in your timeline if you can. Appreciate that, and hope that the time that you spend here. So we are examining some of the stocks we were talking about last Friday, and if you have any stocks you want me to review, just type it in there and I'll be happy to look at that. So let's switch into the chart here. So we have Globetronics and Matrix. And how do I know that? If you switch over to the Robie FA collection, and you would have Chinwell, Globetronics was previously, No, this was last week, sorry, 22nd. Now I'm looking here, it's actually for today, this week, idea. Okay, it's an idea you could use in here. So let's take a look at Globetronics and metrics, which we talk about in here on episode 185, which is the 22nd of August. Okay, switching back to a wider chart here. You could see we haven't seen the spike out of the market stages. This is really one of the benefit of the VSA 360 plugin in here. So that means this market can still jalan lah. Since green pentagon at 112. Remember we got the green pentagon on the day on the 22nd, but spotted the market at 125. Okay, and did hit. Okay, subsequently only on Thursday, that's right. Today's, of course, the market is down 4% in here, but you can see the market is trying to lift off. No doubt, market hit 131, giving it a possible 4.8% with the 240 potential profit from a $5,000 trade in here for the, as I said before, this is something which is on top of that, we did examine the Robie FA. You can also see that it does pay a very decent dividend in here. You can check out in let's look at Globetronics on the Robie chart here, sorry, the Robie apps, stock fundamentals. Okay, and there you go, giving it a possible 6% dividend with the ROE of 18. And there are a couple of good news in here. EPF, General Produce Agency, Berhad. Wow, a lot of floating shares. That also tells you this stock's not easy, but the trend is pretty nice. This is the latest one. For those who don't know, this is possibility be the next value buy in here. The other stocks we were talking about were metrics. Again, you could see in here, we pick it up at 228 on the 22nd of August. Just going to the last date here. MS indicator crossed above zero level and hasn't spiked yet. As I said before, you could also see from here onwards, this market hasn't pushed up in here. And the railway track is actually crossing up. So the trend is turning up in here. Once it hit this red line just on top me here, you could see that's a danger zone. But again, market did pitch higher to 241, giving it a 5.7% possible return of 285 from a profit of from a trade size of 5k. So two trades which we picked up last week, moving decently, right? Despite we've seen the KLSE been very volatile. This great Robie FA stock. So make good use of the Robie FA stocks, which will put you in a more better position in here. And of course, do give us a review in our Google review if some of the stocks that you pick up from Robie FA have benefited you greatly in here. And I'll be happy to take a look at them too. Pencil those in the comment right now in here. Okay, and that's the Robie FA, all right, which we probably... Now let's take a look at this week. We have two stocks, Chinvel and Amada, all right, which is just what I've just showed you previously here. Chinvel is number 2 and Amada is number 1. Let's take a look at the first one. Now this is something which is very new for which we are releasing on the 9th of September for VSA 360. So I'm showing you a chart in here. Is the visual trading plan. Now there's 3 things here you could see from the chart. R1, ideal approach, and S1. All right, so that's something that we will be talking more going forward from my trainer Zach in here. But from this chart, well, it's pretty similar to Robie chart, but what we are trying to do here is trying to put you into a better position where you can use the visual ideal approach, which I will talk about it more right now, but I just want to showcase to you this new chart that we have. We have the trading plan built into the chart in here. So a good feature. We feel that the VSA 360 plugin members will definitely benefit from this here. So let's take a look at the FA for Chinvel. So hit 5007, hit stock fundamentals, and you could see PE of only 7, right? That means it's pretty undervalued, and target price of 208 at a PE of 8.5 times, which is now 7, ROE of 11%, right? Now remember, Chinwell, they don't do that kind of very sexy business like what we've seen on all with Globetronics in here. So you can take a look at them. Let's take a look at some of the news for Chinwell. Really positive, boosted by fair value gain of 37 million, which is August 26. Interesting enough. Okay, that's positive sentiment news. Just one news. Now next one, because next week we're going to come and look at it, see how far. Next one is the Armada. Okay, let's go back to top here, Armada, and look at the stock fundamentals. Okay, Armada stock fundamentals here. Only a PE of 3, ROE of 13, dividend of 0. So it doesn't pay any dividend in here. You have to be careful. Obviously, share Armada is undervalued. Reason is because when it's PE below 4 or 5 or 6, right? Generally, there is some sort of a possible value trap, right? There is no reason why this stock should be that low. But having said that, this stock started to move up after the green pentagon in here, and guess what? The railway track already turned up in here. That's a nice green pentagon that you see in here. And this morning it's up also. Check it out on right now if those of you who have it in here, which is live data, right? Fundamental looks pretty good, right? But just be careful of the lower PE at 3.7 in here. All right, so that's in here. So as a summary for our two stocks that we talk about, and as well as the condition, we felt that the market correction is ahead, but one thing that is not holding up this market rather than dropping is the foreign funds are coming in here. Remember, the month of September usually are bearish for the KLSE over the last 6 years in here. Rather than going up, periodically we have that bear in here. It's not going to go up straight, at least not until we hit 200-day moving average. Use the Robie FA collection to collect dividend while waiting for the longer term. Remember, red pentagon is already here. Exit if you have to for some of the existing in here. Honor your trading plan. Check out the trading plan in here. But our latest version of VSA 360 has the visual trading plan in the chart itself, where you can see S1 and R1. That will help you overall, making it easier for you. Overall sentiment, focus on those Robie FA chart. At least you will have something going forward, and this collection of stock series will help you, right? Just like many of our 20-day trading challenge, our members here has benefited a lot, and I do hope that you can join our program, our masterclass, which actually we did last Saturday for the end of the August for the US market. So we completed all the series of our masterclass in here, and some of our earlier students have really benefited in here, and we really put them into a challenge for the 20-day challenge in here. Eric making a 28%, Kitgo a 23%, and that's for the month of June when the market is relatively against you. So this is one of the ways you can buckle the trend and yet make money on a market downtrend, just like what we have shared with you early on. Those few shares still continue to make uptrend in here. So for those of you who are interested in our next coming, and there will be unlimited re-attendance as long you are continue your subscription in here for the great price that we have for the 1 year unlimited pass and 12 months membership in here, that will put you ahead of our level. And now we did complete our month of August, so we'll be releasing for the September series of talk that we're doing in here. And last Friday, strictly our benefits of speaking about the US market will give you a lot of insights, and not to fear the market, and don't be overly bearish. There's a lot of opportunity in this market if you bother to look for them in here. All right, and of course, do share with us your biggest takeaway in this session today, and you stand a chance to win 3-month membership, which is still open right now. If you're not done so, go ahead and do it. Don't you want another 3 month of free membership in here, able to use some of our new features VSA 360, which have the visual trading plan in here, and review us on the Google Play Store, Google review here, and that's a QR code to do so in here. And of course, you can also sign up for our free market newsletter in here, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel in here, and our free types of package that we have in here, giving you a first mover advantage when everyone else is still sleeping on it. Thank you again to those of you who have reviewed us, and we have great review giving us a 4.8 over 400 plus members, and also the public giving it. Thank you again. We could not do it without your support in here. And of course, right now we are at the point where we want to look at some stocks that you want me to look at. Just pencil those in there if you want me to do so, I'll be happy to look in them. Any stocks that you want me to look at? Okay, you have one for Anju. Okay, let's take a look at, I'm going to just show you the latest our thing in here. So Anju, all right, this is our VSA 360, and you can use Smart Robie, but Smart Robie charts are not updated on time in here. You could see Anju has broken below the S1, right? And of course, earlier on, if you have Anju is not the right trade. It does has a minus 30 risk to reward. Okay, this is the latest feature of our VSA 360 in here. You could see if it's in the red pentagon, of course, wink it. If I assume you have the VSA 360. If not, get the 10-day free trial and check it out. There is a great lot of benefit. So Anju is definitely a no-no. You can see the risk reward is negative. You only want to do when it's green in here. And you could see in here, notice the KLCI is in red pentagon, Anju is in red pentagon. So no way it should be. And also this morning, broke below the S1, which is breaking below the support resistance. So this is very easy to use this. You can also bring it up in the bigger chart here, and you can see, of course, you can also move it to the 3-month chart here. So but it does have a lot of support here at $1, right? So be careful. I do hope that you don't have these stocks in here, and always try to go for stocks that has the right kind of setup in here. I think you've been following us for some time. I do hope that you pick up some of a few things. If not, get the VSA 360 in there, will help you a lot more. So any more stocks, let us know. So this is the new cut that we have in here. But having said that, Anju is rated 3 out of 8. Just be careful. The stocks here, the value is kind of a danger point, I was to say before here. Okay, you got the value trap. All right, and so Anju for last couple of years was pretty good, but this year is minus 47% so far. But I do think that coming for the next 3 or 4 months, there would be some sort of recovery in here. I don't think it will end with a minus 47% down so far. Okay, so just take note of it in here. Okay, that's for my take on Anju. And of course, VSA 360 is always here to give you the kind of reward. And of course, you can also switch on to the Smart Robie, which is the, let's look at Anju here. So Anju, you can look at the stock fundamental. Chart wise, you can see it broke below the S1 in here. So Anju, 3 out of 8, PE of 4, ROE of 10, dividend of dividend 10%. So it does pay pretty very good dividend at 10% dividend. But take note, high pay of dividend usually a bit suspicious. I do believe this was one special payoff in that you have here. Okay, we have Alex here. Want to check for MBMB, MBMR. Okay, MBM Resources. So MBM Resources is, yeah, that's a nice one in here. Just turned green pentagon today. Okay, you can see, yeah, this is live data, turned green pentagon. This morning is up 2.95% in here. Took out the uptrust. So of course, this is some sort of rated 4. So pretty good company here. PE of 4 times, and it's giving it at $3. Okay, but right now it's $3.49. So you have to be careful here. This was on the 26th of August. Market started to break up, so there's some news coming in here. Let's scroll right at the bottom. Declare special dividend, which is the 25th, and probably they're doing a disposable gain. That's 25th of August. So this is a special dividend payout in here. But this is definitely moving, right? Broke through in here. I will wait for a bit of pullback, but having said that, it is a green pentagon, legitimately. Okay, green pentagon in here. So usually is that it's a good time, but make sure today the market don't close and end up with the uptrust. All right, so we have a lot. And one of the things you can also follow if you go to the premium menu is the intraday alert. For our latest one, you have all the green pentagon. You can see Able Globe turned green pentagon, KSSE, KSing, the MBRB. It turned green pentagon at actually 10:33. So this is the live Pentagon intraday chart in here. A new feature that will definitely benefit for those of you who are looking for that extra exploring this new market in here. Okay, so I hope you all like the new feature which we'll be releasing on the 9th, and of course you can check out our VAC 360 free 10-day trial with the 30-minute training in here through our website here. So that's all I have for this morning, and I will give an update also on our Telegram chat room. So if you have not joined us, do join us in our Telegram chat room in here, and do share this with your friends so they can benefit in here. If not, I'll see you on this coming Wednesday night, if not sooner. Thank you for watching, and for those of you who are our members, I'll catch you again in our Telegram in here. Thank you for watching, and bye-bye.